Hello everyone, this is Abhilasha Divedi and my podcast Knowing Universe. So today we are going to go to episode 9 and I talk about how do you feel when you go in space, right? So going in space against the gravity, how do you feel? I felt, that instead of talking really serious things, let's have fun because most of us, and yes, I am one of them, definitely never going to go to space. I don't have any aspirations and probably I'm not that courageous to go in space. I don't have any. So today I'm going to just explain like the best what I have understood and what best I have learned from other astronauts, that how did they feel when they went into the space. So I'll just try to paint the picture of us being in space and how we might feel, okay? How we might feel. It's not certain, but everyone has will have different experience. So that's what I'm going to explain. But not before, I really thank you for, I'm really heartfelt thank you. I have been heard in 12 countries worldwide, and it feels so amazing that to have your feedback, and it just really keeps me, no, you have to do it better and better as much as possible for you. And I'm trying my best. Trust me, I'm trying my best. So today's episode, flying in the space. So being an astronaut is not just wearing a space suit and standing in front of camera and going in and looking like what you are doing, something, and floating, which looks like flying, but it's not easy. It's really hard. First of all, you have to be physically fit, and then you have to be mentally fit. So it's a very important combination that you have to physically and mentally fit, and you have to do something. Unless you are really going for space tourism, in a few years, or actually it has already started. I think you must have heard of, Jeff Bezos went, and a lot of other people went who were at least millionaires, because it takes really a lot of money. Spacesuit itself costs a lot. So they went for suborbital, tour, just a short trip. But you can go for a longer trip. But most of the astronauts, they go for some research. So you have to be really an expert in your subject, and then on top of it, physically and mentally fit. And you should have that kind of guts to stay away from a lot of, the near and dear ones and things. It takes a lot of worries out of your life. You don't have to worry about your bills. Is that a relief? Or you don't have to think about which episode of my podcast is coming or which episode of your favorite documentary or any kind of series is coming. You don't have to worry about any kind of thing because you're working hard. So now let's say that you are sitting in a rocket, okay, in a space shuttle, in a rocket, because rocket will help it throw in the space, okay. And then there are two ways in which you can travel. One is suborbital and the other is orbital. So the suborbital flight will be a little slower, okay, and orbital will be very fast, because in orbital flight the object has to maintain that speed to orbit around the planet, which will be very high. If you remember, I think I have told you it should be around, in the previous episode, like if it is going around Earth, it should be at 17,400 miles per hour or 28,000 kilometers per hour, which is very, very high speed, okay? And definitely not that much for suborbital. It would be slower, and so preparation also will be not that top-notch. It will be a little comfortable. And most of the space tourism is about the suborbital, and it's not about the orbital. But when you are an astronaut and you are planning to go to ISS, International Space Station, you will be experiencing like the zero gravity for a much longer time. In suborbital, it will be for a very long time. In suborbital, it will be for much shorter duration. It won't be that long, but for orbital, it will be very long. And then you also need a lot of other preparation. There are some of our kind astronauts who have shared their experiences that the moment you start going up, isn't it, you go up and beyond that gravity pull, beyond the gravitational pull, which is called escape velocity. Escape velocity is not velocity because it is in the same direction, but it is called like that, and it is basically speed. So when you are going away, the most of the fluid in your body, you know that, right? That there is fluid in your body. Blood is a fluid, where whatever thing which flows is fluid. So the gases and the liquid both are fluid. Flows, fluid, all right? So everything goes up, towards up. It starts moving towards up. So your face will be very, very, toned up, and you will look much younger. And in few days you will be a little taller, but it's not that only you will be taller, everyone will be taller. And the food will not taste exactly how it tastes on Earth. So if you are thinking that, okay, I love chocolates, let me carry some chocolates, it may not be that tasty, sorry. So the food is carried along with the flight itself, and you start eating from the most fresh to the frozen ones, as in like the fruits, like apple or whatever fruits are there you're carrying along with you, you will eat them first, and then you will eat the frozen food. And the sleeping part was the most interesting, and sleeping and brushing, I would say, like I really enjoyed that. So when you are sleeping, you are actually tucked in a sack kind of structure where your arms are out, and since you are in the gravity, zero gravity space, so you may wake up and you may find your own hand like a zombie in front of you, and probably for some time, for a few days you might be scared. Oh, what's that? But then you will understand, okay, I know it's my arms. So that is one. And then you have to be really expert in spitting and putting the paste on your toothbrush, all those kind of things, because it's not really easy. You cannot just spit like that. You cannot do that. You have to be right on the target. Even the peeing would be the same. You have to be on the target. So that would be that I found very interesting. And yes, you have to exercise on Earth and exercise in space, which will be harder. Yes, tick tock. The exercise in space would be much harder, right? But you have to do it because your muscles start becoming a little weak, and even the bones, they start losing their density. So you must have noticed the moment when the astronauts are back on Earth, they are immediately taken to the medical facility so that we can check them that how they are doing health wise. Immediately they are taken to the for different kind of tests, and immediately some supplements are required, etc., because life in space, it might be very looking fancy, but is it? No, it is more scary, and but at the same time very exciting. It is very, very exciting because you can see the sun setting several times, isn't it? And then you can see that how it feels in the complete vacuum when you cannot hear anything. So nothing can be quieter than that, and I feel that probably that would be the best place to do the meditation. Who is with me? Let's go to space and do some meditation. It will be probably wonderful. You have to be very careful when you come out of your spacecraft and try to have a stroll, because if you are not tethered, yes, you are. That is absolutely correct. You will be tethered, and if you are not properly tethered, it can be a disaster. It can be problematic. We can be lost basically. So when we go to space, we have to learn some of the adaptations, some of the changes which we have to do in space. But at the same time, when we come back to the Earth, again we have to try to acclimatize with the climate here on Earth. So both are difficult. Both processes are hard, but at the same time, I would say it's extremely rewarding, isn't it? Because you get to see what most of the world cannot see. That is something which is something to take care of. And so if you are a young person, and if you want to be in space, you really have to keep yourself fit. You should have a plan in your head that what you would like to do when you go to space. You would like to grow a plant, you would do some experiment on animals or on yourself maybe. So you should have clarity and in your mind that, and you should be ready to take the bumps and bruises too, because it is zero G. So zero G means that there is no proper positioning. It like you can be getting bumped somewhere, but at the same time like all these experiences are lifetime experiences. You cannot just say that, oh my God, I am hurt. It's not like that. And all of the astronauts, whatever difficulties they have faced, they all have said that it is worth every penny, which is $1 million alarm. So $1 million, after spending a lot of millions, it will be worth every penny. And along with the physical and mental fitness, and have some idea to what you're going to do in space, you should go there. That's what my suggestion would be. So that was for today. All right, and I hope that you had some kind of an idea that how you're going to feel when you are in space. And right now I'm signing off, of course, but definitely next week we will be talking maybe about asteroid or something, again from the real space. And till then, your own guru is very important, trust me. Have fun. That's what we should do, every one of us. And thank you for listening. Keep listening and keep sharing. Keep sharing, keep telling about the podcast to everyone, that it is not a typical one. It is going to be fun. Yeah? All right. Take care then. Bye.